walking streets as prostitutes, fucking their life over. Before they turn 20, if I ain't seen 100, but yo, I've still seen plenty. They walk the same streets that you walk every day. You got nothing to say, so you look the other way. You could...
Australia is a thriving and privileged first world country, yet still has some surprisingly primitive problems. There is a problem that is sometimes hidden, and people turn a blind eye to it because it is a lot easier for them to put their conscience at rest if they do. The problem is Australia's homeless, and especially youth homelessness, which is surprisingly prominent in Australia. Youth homelessness is usually hidden a bit more than adult homelessness. This is because they are not necessarily the ones always sleeping out on the local park bench. On any given night in New South Wales, caseworkers have reported that there are 7,602 youths who are homeless. This number is quite alarming, and as I have said before, it is quite a hidden problem. Because due to many reasons, shame of being homeless at such a young age, being one of the outcasts, and also wanting a sense of safety, many youths may permanently couch surf, stay with friends or family or strangers, which can have negative effects such as giving sexual favours for a place to sleep. Many may be getting introduced to drugs and alcohol also by older people and fellow homeless youths as a way to fit in. They can also be overly submissive to this, just to ease some of the hardships of their life. Some youth may even have unstable jobs and be living with employees where corruption may also take place. If young people feel too threatened at home, they will simply chance their survival on the street, says Father O'Reilly, the founder of Youth Off the Streets. They will weigh up their chances and simply take the better option. Even though the same occurrences at their current place of dwelling, such as violence, substance abuse and sexual abuse, can more likely be a lot more prominent on the street than their previous conditions. This was highlighted earlier this year when an article in the Sydney Morning Herald stated that 6 people had been arrested due to a child prostitution ring in Sydney's inner west. 2 adults were procuring homeless girls between the ages of 12 and 16 to have sex with men well into their 50s. The face of homelessness has changed. Homeless people are just as likely to be female as male and have children as opposed to not. The most common reason for family homelessness is domestic violence, relationship breakdown or divorce. Financial hardship is almost always involved. Other reasons that youths flee to take their chances elsewhere are all sorts of abuse ranging from physical to sexual and emotional. Many homeless youths may have also had a mental illness, which may have caused them to leave home, yet it is much more likely for them to experience anxiety and depression in a very hostile environment without a family. Social inequality and youth unemployment does not help youths who wish to make it on their own. Many cannot or do not wish to go home due to fleeing terrible abuse and conditions. Are you getting Centrelink, or what are you doing for an income?
Well, at the moment I am receiving Centrelink, but I do not try to waste it on food that much. I try to, save it for other things. I do go to like places they provide food services for youth. I do go to them quite a bit, but I also, when my friends come into the city, they generally get me food and stuff, just give me some odd luxuries.
That's good, man. So what you're saying, you don't waste it on food? Where does that money go then?
Just other things, like cigarettes, like alcohol, like just odd necessities, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see it. Anyway, yeah, well, yeah. Thanks for your time, man, and I hope it improves in the future.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Thanks, man.
Youth on the streets are more susceptible to a wide variety of health problems as opposed to their housed counterparts due to their conditions. Malnutrition, dental problems, tissue injuries, sexually transmitted infections, disability and debilitating conditions are just some of the problems they face. But the conditions of living on the street will affect a homeless youth's mindset, and in turn this can also affect how they will and if they will rely on substance abuse. There was a reported heroin drought a few years ago which made many of the youths on the streets who use intravenous drugs begin to use crystal methamphetamine, or ice, due to the psychological and physiological effects of the drug. Youth workers have reported that the users are getting increasingly harder to deal with since the switch to ice from heroin.
One breath. As I sit and smell the flowers, the berries, the very fern that will excrete this aroma. As I sit at the ferry terminal with the sky above, my eye moved towards it. I soaked up an image, freeze-framed a portrait. An instant, turn into an ocean of eternity. It's Vincent, filled with this emotion that is burning me. From what I saw before me needs no explanation. She just riveted my lungs, there was no exhalation.
There are many suggested solutions for helping the youths on the street today. The Oasis Movie Project is about bringing about awareness. Tim O'Reilly states that education is key. The Finding My Place paper by the Salvation Army suggests more practical and physical needs, finding a clean, safe place with access to detox and rehab services, ability to get healthy food, visits from mental health specialists, education, Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid. Though what all these come down to is for society to be educated and be aware, so they may do their bit to help the many youths that are still out on the streets today.
It's the hitch of encryption, it's the pursuit of the chase, it's the fun of the catch, to find that beautiful face that lies under the latch. When you unlock the mystery, below undercover, you see this simple beauty.